think the fact that we don't have voter ID in places like California is extremely unusual in democracies across the globe. There's maybe like 2 or 3 democracies in the world that don't have it. This is just kind of like a standard administrative requirement in a well-functioning democracy. So I think we should just have it. We should get this over. We should move on with our lives. It shouldn't be a big controversial issue.
Excuse me for being so ignorant, asking last question. This is definitely my last question. What do you mean you don't have voter ID in California? Could you please elaborate specifically on that for my audience that may not know?
Yeah, California does not have voter ID. You don't need to present it to register. You don't need to present it to vote. As a matter of fact, the state passed a law forbidding voter ID. So cities, counties, if they want
forbidding
ID, they're not allowed to under state law.
What? When did that happen?
A couple of years ago, because I think it was Orange County, they wanted to have their own requirements, so the state passed a law saying, nope, you're not allowed to. Voter ID is not only not required, it is actively forbidden.
Well, that's right. That's it right there. That's why the SAVE Act been proposed. Right there, the state of California. That's what the Republicans going to lean on as an excuse to definitely push forth the SAVE Act. Right there. Right there. I can't believe it. I didn't even know that, sir. I'm embarrassed to admit.
There's a lot of crazy things going on in California, but I think, you are seeing a return to sanity in some ways. And I see it, Democrats, Republicans, and independents in California who are saying, we need to do some things differently in this state.
By the way, last thing, that no voter eligibility required. That's Gavin Newsom. Last 2 years, that was Gavin Newsom.
Correct. Well, so the law saying that a locality cannot have its own voter ID requirement. That was Newsom.
There you go. That was Newsom. That's all I needed to know.